Have you ever wondered what really went on behind the scenes between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Fans and insiders alike have been buzzing about the speculation, the rumors, and the possible hidden truths that could explain why their seemingly promising film project spiraled into controversy. At first glance, it looked like they were just two talented actors destined to bring a best-selling romance to life. But as more details came to light, intimacy coordinations, conflicts, tense script changes, and personal accusations, everything pointed to a much deeper and more complicated story. Even wild theories about real-life romantic entanglements started to gain serious traction, especially among those who believe that truth and fiction tend to blur in the world of Hollywood. Yet, none of this stopped the curious from digging further. People kept examining old interviews, scanning Instagram comments, and dissecting every subtle clue in their on-set interactions. The biggest question emerged. Did Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have a connection that went beyond professional cooperation? And if so, did it grow into something more intense than either was prepared to handle? The intrigue only deepened when allegations began circulating about how Blake managed the set, or how Justin approached his role as a method actor. In the midst of all this hype, the rumor mill churned out even more sensational claims. Some said Blake's personal life factored in, and that she might have been looking for a spark of excitement in her day-to-day routine as a busy mother and actress. Others insisted Justin was simply doing his job, trying to capture the full depth of a complicated character, and that any rumor of an on-set romance was just that, a rumor. But that's not the whole story. Slowly, receipts came out that allegedly contradicted what Blake had said about uncomfortable scenes and unwanted visits to her trailer. Suddenly, fans started to suspect that maybe there was an unrequited attraction or a power struggle that ended badly. And perhaps the biggest controversy was whether Blake's husband had anything to do with this tense environment. Some observers claimed jealousy played a role behind the scenes, prompting last-minute script rewrites and behind-closed-door confrontations. That's how the legend grew, from a hush-hush tension on set to a swirl of overlapping truths, half-truths, and bold speculation. In the following sections, we'll dive deeper into the heart of these swirling theories, examine the intimate details, and uncover the controversies that changed the film's direction. So, buckle up, because each chapter in this story adds a new puzzle piece. And by the end, you might find yourself rethinking everything you knew about this strange collaboration between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. It's no secret that show business can be a place of intense connections. Actors often spend months together, exploring fictional romances that sometimes spill over into the real world. According to one prominent theory, this is precisely what happened with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Word on the internet claims that Blake actually fell for Justin during the filming of their romantic movie, an adaptation of It Ends With Us. Some say she was swept off her feet by his portrayal of the complicated Riley, while others suggest she might have been searching for excitement outside her everyday routine. But what evidence supports such a claim? Let's start with the chemistry. Numerous cast and crew members supposedly noticed an unusual warmth between them. Although it's completely normal for co-stars to vibe while rehearsing romantic scenes, these observers insisted the connection went further. People said Blake seemed more involved in the intimacy coordination process than usual, sometimes rewriting entire scenes or ignoring the standard guidelines about the appropriate length of a kiss or the positioning of hands during a passionate embrace. Yet, controversy erupted when Blake later complained about a lack of intimacy coordination. In official documents, she claimed she felt uncomfortable, even exposed during certain scenes. Justin fired back, providing digital receipts that implied Blake was the one taking charge of those exact moments. Suddenly, fans had conflicting statements. Was Blake the victim of poorly handled romantic scenes, or the driving force behind ramping them up? So, how does this theory evolve? It suggests that, at first, Blake might have been subtly testing whether Justin shared her romantic inclinations. When it became clear that he didn't respond in the way she wanted, he's also married and had a different approach to the role, she allegedly pivoted. The tension on set then escalated, with misunderstandings feeding into official complaints and, eventually, negative publicity. That's the first piece of a more complex puzzle. If you're already thinking this is intense, buckle up, because the next part of the story dives even deeper into Blake's unusual approach to intimacy in her roles, and how it might have fueled the suspicion that her on-set behavior was not purely professional. Blake Lively has a reputation for being meticulous about her roles, but not in the typical shape-shifting way that many actors describe. In fact, Blake has gone on record saying she relies heavily on wardrobe and her personal comfort level to tap into a character. She rarely disappears entirely into a role, which has led some critics to argue she basically plays different versions of herself on screen. While that might sound limiting, Blake sees it as a strength. She channels her authentic personality into roles, believing that sincerity can make each character shine in a more grounded way. But here's the kicker. In It Ends With Us, the scenes between Lily, Blake's character, and Riley, played by Justin, were extremely intimate, often walking a fine line between passion and raw vulnerability. Intimacy coordinators exist for a reason. They ensure scenes are safe, professional, and respectful for everyone involved. Blake initially insisted on having one, but evidence from Justin's side indicates that she later frequently bypassed or downplayed the coordinator's role. She took the reins herself, dictating specific moves, angles, and even the length of certain romantic gestures. This alone wouldn't be unusual. Actors sometimes want to ensure they're comfortable with each shot, except that she later complained that Justin monopolized these scenes and extended them longer than necessary. Critics wondered, if Blake was the one orchestrating the intimacy from start to finish, how could Justin be solely responsible for making them last too long? Did something change partway through filming, causing her to reinterpret those moments as uncomfortable or exploitative? Then there's the curious detail of Blake's wardrobe. She's mentioned in interviews that she pulled many of Lily's outfits straight from her own closet. Again, not that unusual. Plenty of stars use personal pieces on set. The difference here is that these clothes were specifically chosen to reflect Lily's journey from a naive romantic to someone caught in a cycle of emotional conflict. For people who support the Blake caught romantic feelings theory, this is key evidence. By using her own wardrobe and personal sense of style, she might have been dissolving the boundary between herself and Lily, pouring her genuine feelings for Justin into those steamy scenes. Yet, the question remains. Was it all an expression of genuine affection, or simply a professional choice that later got blown out of proportion? Maybe Blake had a personal reason for stepping away from typical Hollywood illusions. Perhaps she wanted to channel a realism that mirrored her own emotional state at the time. But, as we'll see next, Justin's approach to his character, Riley, was entirely different. And what happened next would bring about a clash that fueled endless rumor and speculation. While Blake approached Lily by bringing her own personality to the forefront, Justin Baldoni apparently did the opposite. Reports suggest he embraced a method acting style to capture Riley's emotional highs and lows. Riley is not your typical heartthrob. He's layered, complex, and grappling with deep personal struggles that often manifest in both loving and hurtful ways. To bring that to life, Justin kept a private journal, as if he were Riley. He imagined each scene, each hidden motivation, and each romantic impulse that would pull his character closer to Lily. This intense psychological preparation can sometimes create a hyper-real environment on set, especially when filming highly charged romantic scenes. When two actors are pouring authentic emotions into their roles, one drawing from her real self, and the other immersing himself completely in character, lines can blur. Fans of the project say this might explain why the chemistry on screen felt so undeniably real, at least during the movie's early footage. But what if that chemistry sparks something off-screen as well? The rumor is that Blake, genuinely influenced by Justin's passionate portrayal of Riley, started seeing him differently. Maybe she mistook the authenticity in his acting for actual desire. At first, Justin might not have noticed. Method actors often stay in that mental space until they wrap filming, focusing primarily on the truthfulness of each moment instead of the real-world consequences. Things seem to have reached a turning point when the nature of their interactions started going beyond normal co-star bonding. The two were reportedly discussing scene rewrites, conferring over costuming, and spending extra time together off the set. This isn't inherently suspicious. Movie leads do that all the time. But the rumor that some steamy scenes were extended or reshot more often than usual led people to question whether there was more to the story. And then came the alleged bombshell. Justin's refusal to reciprocate any deeper connection outside the camera's lens. Some say that when Blake realized Justin was fully committed to his own family life and not open to crossing any lines, her attitude shifted. The tension that built up behind the scenes started to leak out in subtle remarks, changed schedules, and friction with the production team. From then on, it was as if the entire vibe of the film had changed. Blake's later complaints about excessive intimacy or unplanned script adjustments might have been the fallout of a personal disappointment she didn't know how to handle. But that wasn't the whole story either. If we dig deeper, we find an intriguing clue that suggests something else was brewing off-screen. A clue hidden in a simple workout post on Instagram that apparently reignited speculation about their offset relationship. Social media can be a playful platform, a place where celebrities leave witty or supportive comments on each other's posts. But sometimes, a seemingly innocent remark becomes fuel for speculation. In the case of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, fans discovered an old Instagram interaction that took place roughly 100 weeks prior to the fiasco, placing it somewhere in 2023, the same time frame when filming began on their project. Justin had posted a workout video showing off his fitness routine. Blake jumped in with a comment, "Amazing, now try it pregnant." This might seem perfectly harmless, especially considering she had just given birth and was likely reflecting on her own experiences staying active. Still, many fans saw that comment as a playful challenge, a way to tease Justin by drawing attention to the fact that she'd accomplished physical feats while pregnant, essentially spotlighting her own grit. But could this have been a form of flirtation or an attempt at banter that revealed an undercurrent of personal interest? Some people read it that way, pointing out that Blake's habit of personalizing things, of saying, "You might be strong, but I had to do it pregnant," could reflect an early spark of attention she was giving to Justin. Others claim this is a classic internet overreach, people reading too much into a simple line between two friendly colleagues. Yet, it fits the puzzle for those who believe Blake developed real feelings for Justin. They argue it was the beginning of a pattern, where she inserted herself into his personal achievements as a form of bonding. From that moment on, they say, she found subtle ways to show her interest, whether by requesting his feedback on steamy scenes, or making sure they spent time together, off-set. Things got more complicated when she later accused Justin of pushing the boundaries during intimate scenes, effectively flipping the narrative. If that's true, it would be a clever way to shield herself from rumors and shift blame, especially if she felt her own feelings were not returned. Yet, critics argue it's more plausible that a flirtatious vibe simply got misread or exaggerated. Which side is correct? The lines between genuine curiosity and playful banter can get murky fast. Still, if there was any underlying attraction, one that was building from a simple comment to a full-blown behind-the-scenes spark, it might help explain what came next. A series of wardrobe and script controversies that only deepened the divide between these two stars. As rumors of a not-so-secret flirtation kept building, speculation arose that Ryan Reynolds took note of what was happening. Blake's husband is no stranger to the press or the complexities of on-set relationships. Some sources claim he has a jealous streak, others say he's simply protective of his family's image. Regardless, word is that Ryan made a point of visiting the set or stepping in behind the scenes to keep a close eye on everything. If we accept the theory that Blake tried to test her romantic pull with Justin and was politely but firmly turned down, it's not hard to imagine how tensions might have escalated. Feeling spurned and possibly guilty, Blake might have shifted blame onto Justin in front of her husband, portraying him as the one who took things too far. That scenario might explain the sudden changes in her public accusations, from praising Justin's method acting and her own creative control to stating she was uncomfortable, objectified, or manipulated. A few insiders even whispered that Ryan confronted Justin in person, leading to heated words that ended in a thick layer of awkwardness on set. Of course, none of that is confirmed, and it remains firmly in the realm of rumor. Yet, for many fans, it fits the puzzle. After all, if Blake needed to smooth things over at home, telling Ryan that Justin kept pushing boundaries would be far easier than admitting she might have caught unreciprocated feelings. In any case, the filming experience turned sour, culminating in official complaints that halted production multiple times. Scenes had to be reshot, schedules were overhauled, and even though the movie eventually wrapped, the drama surrounding it left a trail of fragmented stories and unverified claims. Some employees later said the environment was so tense that it felt more like an emotional battlefield than a film set. To this day, people still debate who was at fault. Was it Blake, driven by a hidden agenda of romantic intrigue? Was it Justin, a method actor who perhaps didn't draw clear enough lines between performance and reality? Or was it all a massive misunderstanding, magnified by the high stakes of an intimate film and the gossip-hungry nature of Hollywood? When all's said and done, the saga of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is a tangled web of speculation, conflicting accounts, and sensational headlines. It's easy to get lost in the dramatic details. Did Blake truly fall for Justin? Or was she just deeply committed to her character? Did Justin encourage her affections? Or was he too immersed in his method acting to realize the real-life implications of their on-screen romance? Some believe Blake may have viewed this project as a chance to rekindle a sense of adventure she felt was missing in her life, only to regret it when lines started blurring. Others see Justin as an innocent bystander caught in the fallout of her unmet expectations. And then there are those who wonder if the entire controversy was inflated by the rumor mill, with both stars simply trying to do their jobs. But maybe the most compelling takeaway is that, in Hollywood, personal and professional boundaries can become fuzzy at best. The same intense energy that yields a powerful performance can also lead to jealousy, broken trust, and very public disputes. Whether you side with Blake, Justin, or some middle ground, the saga highlights the extreme pressure of filming intimate scenes, especially when real emotions surface. At the heart of it, we're left with more questions than answers. Could Blake's pattern of dating co-stars have played a role? Or is that an outdated narrative overshadowing two professionals? Was Justin truly the one who prolonged intimate scenes? Or is it possible that Blake orchestrated them and later changed her tune? And how much influence did external factors, like a possibly jealous spouse or social media rumors, wield in shaping the final narrative? In the end, the real story is probably a mixture of multiple truths, colored by personal biases and the haze of showbiz storytelling. Even so, the behind-the-scenes turbulence of "it ends with us" offers a cautionary tale. Whenever art imitates life a little too closely, there's a risk of real emotional fallout. For now, viewers can only speculate about the deeper dynamics. But one thing's for sure, the rumors are unlikely to fade anytime soon. With so many unanswered questions, this particular Hollywood drama may linger in public discourse for years to come, leaving fans to wonder if anything else might one day be exposed, or if the world has already heard all there is to know. Ultimately, the choice to believe in any single version of events rests with each individual viewer. Perhaps it's best to keep an open mind. After all, in a realm where scripts can be rewritten, relationships can shift overnight, and rumors swirl faster than anyone can confirm or deny them, the truth can be more elusive than any Hollywood romance. And for anyone following this saga, one lingering thought might be even more compelling. Sometimes the most dramatic story isn't the one captured on film, but the one unfolding just out of frame.